Hey everybody, so we're going to go over subtracting with mixed number. So let's look at an example here. We have 5 and 7/11 minus 3 and 5/11. So there's a couple ways you can set this up, and I think what we are most accustomed to and what you probably have done in the past is you set them up vertically. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And the rules are very similar to subtracting fractions, subtracting proper fractions. We want to have the same common denominator. So here you see we have a common denominator, which is great. So that common denominator is going to remain in our answer. So our answer is going to have a denominator of 11. We're going to subtract the numerator. 7 minus 5 is 2. And then subtract the whole numbers. 5 minus 3 is 2. Simplify if you can. In this case, we don't have to. So we are good to go. So that's a very simple example of subtracting. But again, the rules are you want to make sure that you have a common denominator, which we do, subtract the numerators, and then subtract the whole numbers. Let's look at another example here. We have 8 and 2/5 minus 3 and 3/4. Okay. So as you can see, I do not have a common denominator, so I want to find a common denominator. I want to find an LCM. So what's a good LCM between 5 and 4? I'm going to go ahead and go with 20. Okay, I'm going to bring the whole numbers down. Those don't change. And I'm showing you a vertical way of solving it. If you like it, the horizontal, I'm showing you the horizontal way of solving it. If you like the vertical way, you are totally free to do that. So how did I get from 5 to 20? I multiplied by 4, multiplied by 4. So my new numerator is 8. How did I get from 4 to 20? I multiplied by 5, multiplied by 5. Okay, so we have common denominators, right? But look, here's an 8 and here's a 15. Can I subtract 15 from 8? No, right? So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. We're going to have to borrow. We're going to have to borrow from our whole number. So this is kind of like your cash in your pocket, and this is your change. So somebody wants 15 from you. You only have 8, but you have a bunch of cash there. So what do? You go to the vending machine, right? And you take $1 out and you make change, right? To give your friend some change. So you're going to take $1 out. So this is now going to become a 7, okay? And then you're going to get $1 in change plus that 8/20ths you had, okay? That's the dollar you got from the vending machine. So what do we do with this? We're going to use clock method, okay? So now this is going to become 20 times 1 is 20 plus 8 is 28 over 20. And there's the whole number. It's still the same amount. So if you were to put this in a calculator, 28 over 20 plus 7, it would be the exact same thing as 8 and 8/20. These are the same amount. They're equivalent. All I did was I made change from the vending machine. So I took $1 from my whole, I gave the dollar to the fraction, and I used clock method, and then I made change. Now I can subtract. Okay, so 7 minus 3 is 4. 28 minus 5 is 13. Yes, 13 over 20. And there is your answer. Okay, so again, I took $1, I made change, I gave that dollar to my change, I used my clock method, and I got this fraction, which again is equivalent to this one. It's just now I have more change instead of cash, and then I subtracted. Let's look at another example. So we have 17 2/3 minus 10. Okay, so this might look a little bit complicated, but it really isn't. So you have $17.66 in your pocket, and somebody wants $10 from you. Okay, so you give them $10. So 17 minus 10 leaves you with $7, but you still have that change because your friend didn't want any change from you. So you still have 2/3 in your pocket. So that's your answer. Super easy, right? Now let's flip it around. Let's give you another example. What if I had 21 minus 9 3/4? Okay, so here I had the whole number with no fraction at the end, and now it's at the beginning, okay? So let's see how it's different. So now you have $21 in your pocket, and your friend wants $9.75 from you, okay? So now your friend wants some change. Do you have any change? No, you do not. So you're going to have to make change, okay? So you're going to have to go to that vending machine. You're going to have to get $1 out, right? You're going to have to put that $1 into the vending machine. So now how much cash do you have? Now you have $20 in cash in your pocket, and you just got something from the vending machine. Well, what did you get? You got 4/4, okay? And how did we come up with this 4 out of 4? Well, 4/4, but how did we come up with that 4? Well, you always want to pick a denominator that matches the denominator that you had. So if you had a 6 here, this would be 6 out of 6. If you had a 7 here, this would be 7 out of 7. If you had a 20 here, this would be 20 out of 20. Because remember, we need to find a common denominator. So you got $1 and change. 4 out of 4. 4 divided by 4 is $1 of change. Okay, 20 divided by 20 would be $1 of change. So I got my 4/4, and now I can subtract. So 20 minus 9 is 11. 4 minus 3 is 1. So how much money do you have? You have $11.25. Okay, so I went through those really, really quick. We're going to go through more in the class, but hopefully that made a little sense to you guys.